A minute and a half. Just one?
Yes. Cut off two. I need to wake up.
Uh-oh. I messed up.
You know that's
yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's why. And that's my picture is superimposed though.
Thank God it's superimposed. You want us walking around with your face. Now this is nice.
Hey, this face ain't bad. Ladies always tell me I'm kind of sexy if you squint.
Oh my Lord.
We didn't even hit the air yet. We on fire.
Open the door for Tammy and she right on time. She can't find her card. Okay, just go get it.
Oh, Buddy Bear. Remember Buddy Bear? Well, no, you probably too young.
No, what? You talking about the club or the grocery store?
The grocery store.
Cicero.
People who really, really care shop Buddy Bear.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
but my mother was just talking about the grocery store.
30 seconds.
Strategies for success. This ain't just any book. It's your roadmap to running a tight ship while keeping the vibe fun and inclusive. Say bye-bye to those chaos-filled days and hello to smooth sailing with my tried and true tips. Let's empower our little ones together. Grab your copy now and let's make magic in the classroom. We're in the wrong with Tamara Fair on the Brunch Bunch.
Well, of course, I'm not in the wrong, but as I aforementioned, I'm not in the wrong because I'm not Tamara. But guess what? Tamara is Tamara.
Hey, what's up, believers? It's your girl, Tamara Fair. And it is in the Raw. And today's in the Raw segment is by none other than that world-renowned famous comedian. You've seen him on BET. You've seen him on Comic View. Now you will get to see and hear him right here in the studio. What's up, JD? Nobody didn't ask you for no sound effects.
I can do my own sound effects.
I told him the Saints don't know that sound.
I told them the devil is alive. They know that song.
Well, first, Jay is the gift that keeps on giving. He brought me a T-shirt, and it says,
"That's all you got to do to win him."
Yeah, you better believe it. People may not remember what you did or said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Come on, somebody.
Maya Angelou.
Come on. Maya Angelou said it. I just copped it because that's how comedy is. Comedy is like, hey, you might not remember my name. You might not remember the jokes that I told you, but you'll remember that you felt better than you did when you left my show.
Except in the case of Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Except in that case.
In that case.
And even the people that didn't know their names before, guess what? They know them now. You better come on, Jack.
Come on, somebody that's rich.
Turn to your neighbor and say, yep, somebody.
Somebody that's rich. Let the Rock slap me. I need 50
Listen,
million.
Did you see that it went to 1 billion? And I was thinking last night, I want somebody to come up and hit me.
No.
That ain't got nothing to do with that slap.
You want somebody rich. Because it's a bunch of people want to slap you. I'm not one of them.
I don't know anybody that wants to slap that.
Come on. That's all I got to say. So wait a minute. We're going to get back to that.
But I do want to say real quick, Tammy prophesied yesterday. She turned into a prophetess, and she said it was going to exceed $250 million.
I sure did.
So it did exceed 250.
4 times.
Right?
Well,
Times 4.
Go on and speak life into me.
Well, speaking life into you, you got some lively things going on, as you always do.
In Jesus' name.
So we are so excited to have you back on the shores of Chicago.
Yes,
and what's going on? You got some 2 or 3 things coming up.
Yeah, it's major things, Tam. Wait, before I get this started, let me tell y'all about Tam. Okay? Let me tell y'all about my heart, Tam. Y'all hear on the radio all the time or whatever, but y'all don't know her heart, right? She on our heart, but you don't know her heart.
That's right.
Tammy always supports anybody that's doing anything positive.
Yes.
If you're trying to do a movie, if you're trying to get your comedy show started, if you're trying to open up a comedy club, she's gonna be there. She's not only gonna be there, she's gonna tell other people about it. So let's give a big round of applause. That's my heart right there.
Thank you.
That's how you went over right there.
Wait, plus a t-shirt.
I got your t-shirt.
Okay.
It better be the right side.
No, it ain't. But she can sleep in it. You know,
Okay.
Tam only 4'2". Don't nobody make nothing.
I'm 5'9", self talking about 4'2".
Right.
So-
Don't nobody do Garanimal t-shirts. No.
Jay, we got to do you like the preachers. We got to have your picture with all your engagements because you got a lot going on.
You got a lot
By the
going
grace
on.
of God. By the grace of God. But I'm always taking a break from the comedy route and then doing things that's going to give back to the community. Me and Tammy met because of Better Boys Foundation.
Yep.
And I host Y'all Gala for 2 years in a row right
Yep.
now. And then I also host this thing called
Riddles.
no.
He do so much you can't remember.
Yeah, God is blessing me so much.
Listen to the voice on the right side of your head.
Exactly.
Somebody's speaking to you from.
A boy in his dream.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina.
No, that was the Holy Ghost.
Well,
I
you
thought.
still dreaming, Sabrina.
A boy in his dream that gives scholarship to underprivileged kids, and then now I'm doing this putting on the hits that basically gives funds to parents with children with disabilities.
Oh wow.
This is awesome.
So it's huge.
And you've got an all-star lineup here.
Yeah, all of those people are coming, performing some of the best songs that you know and love by some of the best artists that you know and love.
From the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yes, sir.
You touching all generations.
Yeah, because I lived through all generations.
Oh,
I'm
right.
56, bro. I'm 56.
56. Wow.
Yeah, come
Well,
on.
you don't
God
look
is
your
good.
story or your age.
God is
But
good.
let's
I don't
talk about
drink. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that
I'm
stuff.
not
Well,
gonna tell
speaking
them
of
what
not
you do.
drinking or smoking,
Yeah,
shout
I
out to
don't
your
do none of
sister who partied with me the
Why you
other
gonna
night.
do that? Why you gonna do that?
Shout out to Tynette Wilson, my girl, your sister. But let's talk about putting on the hits. The 38th production.
38 years.
That ain't
bro.
the name of the company. 38 years.
No.
38 years.
38 years.
Shout out to
Wow.
Tony Schofield because Tony has to go to Martha's Vineyard, so he connected me with them, and they asked for me personally.
Wow.
So I must be doing something right, Mama. If you're watching this, Mama, I must be doing something right.
Okay, come on, Mama. You better
Yeah.
give your boy a big clap.
Yeah.
But
So,
putting on the hits, first of all, I don't know anybody that's done anything for 38 years. I know people try to make 38 years of marriage, got to couple them together and put that together, make it happen. But it's all going down
Oh, Lord.
this Saturday.
this Saturday.
And it's
in
June
Lansing.
22nd from 1 to 5. That's 1 o'clock sharp, y'all.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss any of these artists. What can the audience expect from
They
them?
could expect an amazing show. First of all, I'm hosting, so y'all
Hello.
could just can't
Drop the
play.
mic.
Come on now. What else I'm gone. What else y'all need but me?
Well, when they need to know
Come
how
on.
do they get tickets, and are tickets still available?
Tickets are still available. Just go on my Instagram at JDeep. It's hilarious. JAYDEEP is hilarious. And there's a scan code. Just scan that code, and the tickets will come up on once you scan the code.
So I just want the believers to know some of the people that'll be in the building.
Come on.
Phyllis Hyman,
Come
Gerald
on.
Levert,
Come on.
Betty Wright,
Come on.
Stephanie Mills,
Come on.
George Michael,
Come
Mary
on.
J. Blige,
Come on.
Whitney Houston, Shaka Khan,
Come on.
Bobby Hutton, Teddy
Come on,
Pendergrass,
Teddy P.
James Brown, Frankie Beverly,
Come
Luther,
on.
Big Luther, Little Luther,
Both
Big Luther, both
Both
Luthers,
Luthers.
Luther Vandross,
Luther.
Tina Turner, Cool Mo Deep,
Come on.
and the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
Come on.
And for all of you all who are saying those people are deceased. No, these are
the
cover
tribute.
artists.
The tribute.
Yes.
Oh, I thought
So,
we were gonna have a
yeah.
Ouija board or something.
I rebuke that.
In the
I
name
did not
of
say
Jesus.
that. Ain't no Ouija boards in the house. I did not say
No, but
that.
these are people that will be performing as these artists.
Yes.
And
it's
ain't
gonna
nothing like good live
be
music.
nothing like
Ain't
good live music when people can sing.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say there's the caveat right there.
Because let's all admit this. We hate when people can't sing, but there's no place that people think that they can sing more than a black funeral.
Or the
Yeah.
church.
You get all of the
Oh, my God.
wannabes out there.
I just want to say it. First of all, giving honor to God. No, don't put God in this. If
God
you
did
could
not
not
give you-
sing before the funeral, you can't sing at the funeral.
But you know, nobody ever called them up, and so when the 2-minute remarks come, that's your time to shine.
No,
Listen,
no.
I didn't eulogize
already
people on them
hungry.
2-minute remarks.
I'm already hungry. I don't need to be hungry and frustrated. No.
Well, you know what? For those of you who are actually frustrated because your camera don't work, or maybe you just don't know how to work it, there is a number that you can call for tickets still, and that number is 708-949-4444. 708-945-3382. The number 708-945-3382. Now get it on this last time, y'all. 708-945-3382. I am so excited about this lineup. This is great. Now, it's all going down at the Serbian Social and Cultural Center.
Yes.
And that's
Lansing.
18550 Stony Island. No, not the one on 91st Street, but the one at 185th in Lansing. This looks like it's going to be a great event.
It is. It's going to be incredible. And plus, it's for a cause. Like, it's always great to do performances, but when it's for a great cause, like, that's why I love you guys. Well, that's one of the reasons I love you, Tammy. It's so many. But that's one of the reasons that I love the Better Boys Foundation. Like, we always have fun.
Yes.
We always gonna have fun because that's what it's all about. We gonna eat good. We gonna have fun. But the bottom line is that it's helping a lot of families to, like, the kids learning how to play music and
all the arts, putting them on the pathway
because
to progress.
they took the arts out of the Chicago schools.
That's right.
Well, Jay, you're gonna be in Lansing this Saturday.
Yes.
And we want all of you to call the number Tammy gave, scan the QR code, get your ticket.
Yes.
But if for some reason you can't make it to Lansing, you can make it to the Great West Side of Chicago the following Saturday.
Did you notice he said the great?
You better believe it.
Okay.
You better
The
believe
west
it.
side, the best side, huh?
Listen,
Don't get put out, y'all.
Tammy knows she love West Side.
And she
Listen,
love me.
and you're gonna be partnering with the People's Church of the Harvest, and you guys are presenting Chuckling with the Church Folk.
That is actually my brand.
Wow.
I love that
I
name.
created that brand 7 years ago when I was getting booked at a lot of churches. People like, oh, can you do church comedy? I'm like, I could do whatever's helping me pay for my kids' school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I could do churches. So I created Chuckling with the Church Folk. And we did that, and it's been a success. I've done hundreds of churches.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yes, you partnered up with one of my very good friends who actually got me started in radio, B. Cole.
Oh, that's my girl.
Yes, comedian B. Cole is
comedian, filmmaker, screenwriter B. Cole.
that part.
Like
that
me
part.
and B.
Get me right, Jay.
I got to, right? Me and B are probably the only two comedians, successful comedians in Chicago that also write screenplays and we direct. And speaking of directing, please don't forget to go to Tubi and check out my my film that I did for the 40 Plus Double Dutch called Beyond the Ropes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that a documentary or film?
It's
A documentary?
Yeah.
Wow, I got to check that out. Shout out to the 40 Plus Double Dutch. Who founded that group?
My girl, Pamela Pelt Robinson.
Yes, I know her daughter.
Yeah.
Beautiful family.
We've been friends 25 years. So I was there at the beginning when she first started it, and then she went on to Windy City Live. She only had like maybe 20 followers at that time. 5 years later, she has over 60,000 members.
Yes,
all around the world. Not literally. I mean, literally
all around the world.
Afghanistan. She has members all around the world, and that the documentary is just a little piece of showing you when we went to New York, we went to Atlanta, Florida, and so Ronnie DeVoe from Belle Biv DeVoe is actually our musical supervisor.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Yeah,
listen,
but you've been doing big things for a long time.
And
a lot of times, like he said, you might not remember the name, but you've been in movies. You were in Barbershop 1 and Barbershop 2. Yes. And a quick story about the first Barbershop is I had a huge part, right? But I didn't know that they were going to pick anybody from Chicago. And so this Sergeant Major calls me from Germany, and he's like, hey, do you mind coming over to Germany to perform for the troops? I'm like, I'm there. Because I'm like, ain't nobody going to pick nobody from Chicago. So I left, and I went over to Germany, and I'm there for like 2 weeks. And the casting agent, shout out to Sharon King, calls me and says, hey, where are you? The reading is tomorrow. And I said, I'm in Germany. If I leave now, I can't make it. and she said, what do you mean you're in Germany? I was like, I didn't know I was going to get the part for real. You know, and so they gave me a little bitty part when I came back. But you did a big job in that. And then nobody knew it was going to be a success. And we had part 2.
Wow.
and then my part was a little bit bigger in there.
Well,
So,
walk
yeah.
by faith and not by sight.
Come on, somebody.
You tell God your plans to make him laugh because his plans are bigger for you. Listen, check out J Deep this Saturday at the 38th production of Putting on the Hits, hosted by J Deep, as seen on BT and HBO. And you're hearing them here now. It's going down at the Serbian Social and Cultural Center in Lansing from 1 to 5. Tickets are still available. Early arrival is suggested. There's going to be some great music. And then on next Saturday, somebody say next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
We're going to be at one of my favorite churches, People Church of the Harvest, 3570 West 5th Avenue. Pastor Michael Eady and Lady Eady.
Cousin.
Yep, cousin.
Michael
All right, Church of God
Yeah.
in Christ. The doors open at 4:30. The show time starts at 6. They'll have an hors d'oeuvre reception, 5 p.m. until exhausted. It's B. Cole, it's J.D.,
Yes.
it's inspirational selections by music director Michael Kennedy and psalmist Joseph Terry,
Come on.
and catering by Polly.
Come on, Polly.
Which means you got free food, y'all.
Come on now.
With your ticket purchase.
And that is also a fundraiser as well for my cousin who's going through cancer treatment.
Wow.
So yeah, so all of the things that I'm doing coming up is for a great cause.
Yes.
Yeah. When they say sow a seed, so I'm sowing my seed, not expecting anything in return, but I'm doing it because that's what you're supposed to do.
And you've been blessed, and so you're charged to be a blessing.
I am blessed to be your friend.
Oh my God!
Let me tell y'all.
We ain't got time for you to keep. You like the people at the funeral. It's either sing or testify.
I'm going to testify then.
You got 30 seconds. Let's go.
So Tammy and I met after I came out to her house and cooked for her and her friends. I said, Tammy, I could cook. She was like, oh, okay, well, come out to my house and cook. She had just got the house. I said, what you want to cook? I could cook.
He cooked.
Tammy said chicken. I said,
I'm black.
I said, what about the lamb chops? Come on. Nope. So I cooked chicken for Tammy.
Well, listen, keep cooking chicken and lamb chops. We're going to keep cooking it right here on the Brunch Buncb. Coming up next is Community Chatter with Win-Win Communications, because we want you to keep winning.
You left that word out there for winning.
Come on.
Yeah, sleepiness.
Thank you. You so crazy.
Tammy, let's walk out while they shift in. Get
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Well, we got some time.
No, we got 2 minutes.
About 4 minutes.
I'm going to say hi to Jay-Z.
I call him. Like you got TikTok. How are you? What all of that purple dress going on? I knew you were going to say. Hey, you a couple walking through the hallway. I knew you were going to say something. Oh my God. 40-year-old video. Oh my God. I knew you were going to say something. His hand is on me. Well, she was, so I can say something. Hey, what's happening? Say, oh, special education, huh? I got some issues myself. They put me in remedial class. They had me on the short bus a whole semester. I'll tell them. I'll say it too. I don't care, Justin. I will tell it. I don't care. But I'll be retarded kids. Good morning.
Sorry, how you doing? We're going to need our producers.
Get the chairs as close as possible.
I feel good. I'm so grateful. I feel good.
Put this chair right here.
I'm so grateful. I feel good. Man, I'm so blessed. I feel good.
Tyrone's phone doesn't work. So you can put him on your phone and I'll do the other.
You got 3 minutes.
You need to change it.
Tres minutos.
Whichever way it's set up, we'll
Hey,
go
it's
that
your
way.
man Action Jackson, and the business spotlight of the week is TNC Fitness Club, located in the Soul City corridor of Chicago, 5910 West Chicago Avenue. If you're looking for a gym, you're looking for classes to work out, you're looking for community, check out TNC Fitness Club. You won't be disappointed. This business spotlight is brought to you by
Set up with his name here, so we're gonna keep it
All
this
right.
way.
Secure Home and Automation. You've heard the name.
Okay, and how much is that gonna cost?
Ultimate safety that they bring to your home.
He had a problem with the Android.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say it again.
344.
So she just changed the time.
866.
Okay, I'm at work. I'll be done at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna give you a call back.
Fine lines and wrinkles.
All right, thanks.
Or you just want to get or
Lord
maintain a
Jesus.
youthful glow.
Tyrone, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm doing great. How have you been?
Busy
As you always are.
It's all good. I'm waiting.
So you picked a very nice hotel for us in Paris. Thank
Did
you
you
so
enjoy
much.
it?
I didn't stay there. I stayed at but I did go visit everybody that was there. Yeah, it was very nice. Did you see Pam out there?
No, I didn't.
I have to let her know you're here. Almost everybody.
I don't know what I was doing. I did what I was told.
Oh, that's a nice one. She did her own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta get that. Pay my
She
invoice.
said she know you busy.
Child, I gotta pay my
So I thought
invoice.
y'all was saying Jay-Z,
J.D.
J-Deep. I was like, that sounds like Jay-Z.
Not right now.
Not now.
Soon, we gotta get with his people,
Hmm.
And remember, call attorney India Rio to secure the brand and the bag.
Win it.
Attention motorists, get your new Buddy Bear yearly Buddy Pass for as
1 minute,
low
1 minute.
as
You still playing that, right?
a month for the entire year.
Oh, I'm just checking.
We're in June. It was supposed to be till May. We can play it for June.
I know, I'm just asking, DJ Brandon birthday is Friday.
Oh, he's a Cancer?
You mean the loyal
Oh,
fan?
this Friday.
DJ?
I don't know. Is it canceled?
21st.
Oh.
One of my husband's birthdays.
You got 30 seconds.
My ex-husband's.
Oh, Lord.
Ready to level up your kindergarten classroom game? Introducing effective kindergarten classroom management. Strategies for this ain't just any
Cut
Well,
up
they
so we can hit the
did,
intro.
running a tight ship while keeping
We winning right away, or we what's going on?
Winning?
bye to those chaos-filled days.
Win-win intro. That's
Y'all
what
ready?
you
With my tried
Yeah.
and true tips. Let's empower our little ones together. Grab your copy now and let's
Make magic in the classroom. Hey there, it's Wynona Redmond, and it's time for Community Chatter brought to you by Wynona Communications.
And each and every Tuesday, Wynona from Win-Win Communications brings a great guest or two or three to inspire and uplift the believers to continue to win. And she is the who's who of not just Black Chicago, of Chicago. So we always happy to see Wynona.
Happy to be here, but somebody had that slogan 365 Black.
Yes.
But what's so exciting about 365 Black, when you look at the global world, we've got two global giant guests today, and I'm so happy that it's Juneteenth. Not just, we're doing a lot with Juneteenth, Illinois. We've had big press conferences, big coverage. You saw the big press announcements with the mayor yesterday. You saw last week, this Saturday, Illinois at Malcolm X College, starting with a health equity breakfast, and then the panels, the justice, the education, and the wealth. But I'm so excited today that we're not just talking Juneteenth, Illinois. Our guests today are pillars.
Yes.
When you look at liberation, when you look at freedom, and the health is wealth, and when you look at wealth is wealth.
Well,
So
yeah.
guests today,
That part.
since we always run out of time, I just wanted to say I'm very excited to welcome Tyrone Studemeyer, Vice President of Global Diversity diversity. You got a promotion recently.
No, still senior vice president.
Senior vice president.
She prophesying something coming.
Global
CEO, but
global diversity. But that was the first time the Hyatt had this role,
yes.
And he's broken records ever since. And now he has a book out that we're going to talk about, and where you can get it. It already is an Amazon bestseller. But Tyrone has been around the world globally for the Hyatt, and he actually has put the best in diversity in business in a book. And then I don't have enough time to do the introduction for Dr. Jeffrey Sterling. He's president and CEO of Simcoe. He has SI Medical Supply, but he has some really big history making in the education arena. So he is a Chicagoan, he's global, but you've just hit so many diversity spots with Northwestern. You've been the head of two major diverse organizations. So let me jump in.
Yeah, welcome, Dr. Sterling.
I want to jump in because we know the statistics.
Yep.
We know about equity and everything else, but Blacks, starting with, we're going to have a conversation around liberation and freedom, but please share some of the historic roles you've had, and then as we jump in and answering the question of how are we liberated, how do we have freedom, as you talk about transforming health, and then we're going to pivot to Tyrone and go that same liberation in wealth.
Well, thanks for having me. It's good to be back with you.
I was going to say back.
Yeah,
I was about to say back.
That's right. It's good to talk to you. But, my message actually is quite simple. It's all about how we implement that message that's going to matter. Mm-hmm. So if we're here in America and talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I begin the conversation by reminding everybody that the happiest day of nobody's life was on the day in which they were sick. So in this conversation about Juneteenth, I want to talk to people and let them know that if it's time to get liberated, that really begins with taking control of our own health. Okay. And what we are doing around the world is really taking some fundamental best practices that are data-based, not Dr. Google, not opinion, but the actual data that tells you how to have a healthier life and a longer life. So much of what I've done through different organizations has been to increase awareness of that fact, to build an infrastructure to deliver on that fact, and to get more physicians in place to transact if and when health actually becomes disease. So I know you want me to mention the fact that back in 1989, I created an organization that nobody knows about except for the kids. That's called the Minority Association of Free Health Students. It's on 300 college campuses, and it's the organization that's responsible for thousands of physicians and dentists and public health professionals, et cetera. And that's the type of infrastructure that really is important. And I spent 3 terms as chairman of the board of the Student National Medical Association, which is the largest pre-professional organization in the country of Black and other diverse medical students. So those are things that I've been working on for quite a long period of time, and we'll talk about some of the other things. Like you said, there's never enough time.
And he's got an alpha role, so you can't come into the studio.
That's right. Yeah, I'm first Surgeon General of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
So you're a big deal.
Yeah.
No, just in service.
But
it's still a big deal.
But we definitely are going to come back to that liberation and freedom and our life expectancy. But Tyrone, I've known Tyrone for many, many years, and you have paved the way as a corporate giant, but you took on a role that wasn't easy because they don't give that to us. You have to go in and earn it. And so, but speak to, when we are looking at the pillars of wealth and health and justice and education, they all intersect with both of your roles. Come on, tell us the name of the book that we're going to get signed copies of.
First and foremost, thank you, and thank all of you for what you do every single day, because this is power. Knowledge is power. The more we share, the more we explore, the more we challenge ourselves to think differently, we move the envelope for our culture. Black culture has been at the bottom of every statistics on the planet, no matter whether it's health, welfare, whether it's finance, whether it's jobs. My book is called Diversity Done Right. There's a right way and there's a wrong way, and the right way is creating equity for all. Please know that we are 450 years behind any other demographic. We're the only demographic that did not come to this country on their own free will. If you were not born Native American, you came here from another country at your own free will. We were kidnapped, hoodwinked, bamboozled, and brought here on ships, sewn over on ships. Somebody asked the other day, how could the mermaid be a black mermaid? Because that's the only girls at the bottom of the ocean were black girls because of slavery. So we look at those things, and so we have to make sure that we're doing it the right way. Being the first Black senior executive in diversity for Hyatt, I've been there for 9 years now. That job didn't exist. It was at the director level. Came in and convinced the organization that we needed to play at a very high level in order to be able to get this work done around the globe. When you talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, diversity is the mix of difference. Inclusion making that mix right, and equity is the goal. How do we create equity across all demographics, whether I'm Black, white, Latino, Asian, gay, straight, old, rich, poor? We've got to make sure we bring this all together from an equity perspective. Diversity, equity, inclusion is under attack, particularly from our federal government. The things that our forefathers did back during 1966 in the civil rights movement are now being under attack. We're worse off today than we were in 66 if we look at the demographics. We only have less than 4 Black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. Unheard of. Right? That is the trend. So when you talk about wealth building, we don't have the jobs. And when you get promoted, we're decades behind our white counterparts in compensation. Because do something to actually close that gap. I was in a session one day and this white guy said, this question is for Tyrone. If Black folks don't think that Black lives matter in America, why don't they go back to Africa? I went to the edge of this out loud. It was a question. He said, this is for Tyrone. I was only Black on the panel, and it was predominantly all white people. I got up out of my seat and went to the edge of the stage and said, you cannot return stolen merchandise.
Whoa.
Whoa. We have actually come here, right? And so when you look at that, you got to
Did you practice that, or that just came off the dome?
Listen,
I like that. I like the Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost spoke to me, right? But the reality is that people don't know what they know. And then our own people sometimes doesn't know.
That's true.
One Black girl said to me, Tyrone, I don't believe in these diversity programs. I don't know why we can't have them. My great-great-grandfather was a slave, didn't have a program, have diversity programs. Absolutely, he did. Harriet Tubman was the first chief diversity officer.
Okay.
Malcolm X,
You better
King,
come on, Tyrone.
all these people were before us who were fighting. They didn't call it diversity, but they were trying to get us
But
to
they
better
were
life.
working diversity.
Exactly. Harriet Tubman was the best chief diversity officer on the planet. The best to do it. She brought us from one region to the other where we were free, where we were slave. We were free and we're not in slavery, but a way to build wealth.
Yes.
Had it not been for us, we've been sitting around this table today.
You know, I went to a historically Black college, and this will resonate with both of you. Right across the street from Meharry College, I went to Fisk University, and so I keep up with those statistics, and it is really frightening how our Black doctor population is dwindling. And to speak to your point, so is every other gain that we have actually been enjoying for the last 20, 30, 40 years are under attack.
And that's a good spot, Dr. Sterling, when we were just talking about, you know, the training ground of Cook County Hospital and all of the work being done to support the training of the Black doctors and the Black, you know, the healthcare field. And if we talk about transforming health and liberation, equity in that pillar of education, there is a lot to be said. You know, you said you were across the street, but the training and the available number of doctors and physicians and health services, where are we at with that?
But that conversation, they're two sides of the coin. And let me start by picking up what Tyrone was putting down. See, I believe that we're not going to jobs our way back into diversity, equity, and inclusion.
That's right.
See, the bottom line here is that owners own, managers manage, and workers work.
Yep.
We have to have conversations about how we start owning things. If there are 30 million over 30 million Black Americans in this country, we have a community by which we can create our own. Back when I was coming up, Reverend Jackson used to talk about, hey, how you expect me to pull myself up by my bootstraps if I don't have any boots? Well, it's time we become boot makers.
That's right.
You know, we're talking about getting a piece of the pie. It's time we become pie makers. So the segue into that, to get to your question, is that healthcare is actually not just something that makes us live good quality lives. It is actually the largest sector in the American economy. 21% of the way that this gross domestic product in this country is spent is on healthcare. Over $4 trillion. There's not one single Black billionaire in this country out of $4.3 trillion being spent. So not only in the Minority Association of Health, Pre-Health Students, which I created, and in the Student National Medical Association and in the National Medical Association, do we have conversations about being strong representatives in the community and providing good health. We also talk about owning your spaces.
Yep.
We have to own it. Anything you see, I remember when I was a kid, I used to go up to the signature room, which
God bless, just closed.
Yeah.
I just looked down over the skyline and look at all those towers, and it occurred to me, we don't own any of these. Now, we used to look down at JPC down at the very end, but we have to get to a mentality to, yes, it is a beautiful thing to be gainfully employed, but until and unless the conversation moves toward economic empowerment and ownership, it's still going to not reach the heights to which we want to go. And all of that starts with being healthy long enough to realize your goals. We're going to talk about some things that I've been working on for 10 years that are all about economic empowerment, while parlaying the fact that the healthcare sector is an important part of the American economy, and we need to look at that. The state of Illinois is spending about $26 billion a year on healthcare. How much of that do you think is being funneled not just to our communities to provide healthcare, but to provide economic empowerment to Black-owned businesses?
That sounds like,
Listen, y'all got me ready to give off.
That sounds like numbers. So Tyrone, that sounds like numbers.
The data doesn't lie.
Don't lie.
Right, and the reality of all this is that we have to keep in mind is that we spend more than $1 trillion in the marketplace.
Yep.
As Black folks, but we don't spend it with ourselves.
So what
corporations either? I'm sorry, my life because I'm getting old. I'm gonna forget. Most corporations either reacted or responded to the death and murder of George Floyd. It was a movement or a moment. This should have been a movement for us, but it was a moment because we let it go.
Let it go.
Our fingers, right? So at Hyatt, we responded with Change Starts Here. A program that's designed and created to make sure we look inward before we look outward. Because people wouldn't stay in hotels during COVID. We had to furlough people, lay people off, and then all of a sudden, the government gave people some money. Everybody wanted to travel, so we picked back up. But the reality is that we looked at 3 goals: who employ, develop, and advance. That we need to committed that we will double the representation of women around the globe with a focus on Black folks. You see, level roles, we could hire entry-level to mid-level managers, but at the top of the house, what Doc was saying, at the senior level, most level of the organization, we have track records. Michael Smith, which is retired from Hyatt, he started as a dishwasher in Chicago. He had his career as general manager of New Orleans with ownership. Right, that makes a difference, right? We then said that we would look at, there's millions of unemployed youth globally. We committed to hire 10,000 unemployed youth between 16 and 24, 10 million, I'm sorry, 10,000. Between 16 and 24, qualifications, unemployment, and no education. With more than 5,000 already within 3 years, going to our 4th year globally. And then we said that we would send 10% of our spend would go to the Black community. We went for less than 100 Black vendors to 748 Black vendors.
Woo!
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. You answered the question. I knew that you had some metrics. I was saying Dr. Sterling was basically saying numbers talk, and I know that in your role, I've been there and seen some of your reports that were unbelievable. Believable.
Money talks and BS walks.
But I knew that you had metrics and numbers that were going there.
Look at measures, what gets done, right? That's how we look at statistics and data to be able to make decisions on how we do. We look at Black folks in healthcare. We're at the bottom of every demographic. As we were waiting today, I heard Don Kaplan Council, the member, I was over eavesdropping. He was ear hustling about a young man who he was talking to about his blood pressure and what he needs to do differently and how he needs differently. We've got to share with one another more than just coming to the office, right?
Yep.
So when we talk about suppliers, we host the Urban Leagues, and we've hosted for the last 6 months their Entrepreneur Summit at Hyatt. Every month they meet, we provide them lunch, we provide them dinner, they do their graduation, we have our leaders come and talk with them about suppliers, because let me be clear, we buy everything. Let me tell you a toilet paper story. We have an African-American female in Baltimore. She sells bamboo toilet paper. The toilet paper is so good till I guess it's stealing it off the carts.
Wow.
Wow.
She came to me and said, we're going to give you the region. She said, I came to Tyrone. I can only do one hotel. I can't do the region. What's the problem? She said, I can't afford the capital. So I actually, we changed most companies have net 60, net 90, and net 100. We're net 10.
Wow.
That's new.
And now that's
brand new.
That's new.
Net 10. Now we gave her a 2-year contract and we paid her a year in advance. That's game changer.
That is game changer. And that will change communities, because most people don't understand with contracting with government or corporations, the net 30, net 60 will put you out of business.
You got to choose between paying your employees or buying toilet paper or buying out of the cash register, which is not designed for that. So corporations, I encourage all the time, look at your net pay. When I was with a bunch of CEOs and I gave that straight, what do you mean, what's net pay? You get paid once a month, right, or twice a month. They get paid 90 to 120 days. They can physically go out of business.
And when you look at medical supply, that's a big piece. You have mastered that.
That's right. Let me tell him this, because there's another metric. The number is 1. There is only one Black-owned master distributor of Purell products. Everybody knows Purell, right? And that's medical supply. So we should be doing all of that for you. We have the capability to provide the best pricing that's available and the entirety of the quantity. So We have been looking for you and others like you so that we can
Thank you,
business.
Wynona.
Because at
Thank you,
the end of the
Wynona.
day,
This is good.
This is good.
Let me drop this other data point on you. Something came out in Cranes yesterday.
Yes.
The net wealth of blacks in Chicago is zero.
Yeah.
Zero, guys. Doesn't get any worse than
Chicago.
that.
Yeah.
So once again,
Are we at the bottom of the metric?
well,
Yeah.
nationally we are, but unless they're Native Americans in the conversation, yes.
Yes.
So the point to be made there is that we are all about opportunities to create ownership because we hire us.
That's right.
So until and unless, in the healthcare arena, I hate, with all due respect, I love when people want to take care of health, but when people come into communities and want to have a press conference talking about, look at this great building we did, we're going to hire X number of people. I'm always thinking, why don't we own that in our own communities? I just went shop every time I go shopping in my communities, just like you said, we don't own these things. We give everything away. And we have that $1 trillion that was discussed earlier of spending power. If we reverberated that wealth in our own community, we could uplift ourselves. And that eventually is what the deal is. After 400 years, we know there's no Messiah, economic Messiah coming to give us reparations. We've got this. We can do this ourselves. Not only is it don't quit, but it's do it. It's time. And that's the name of the game here. Can we talk about Simcoe? Because that's what this is really about.
Let's talk about Simcoe, and this is the perfect global Juneteenth conversation.
This is
We're
amazing.
not free. We're not free yet. So that's why you.
And I'm glad I wore this shirt. Don't quit, do it. And that's the issue. But here's what I want to just drop in real quick. I've been having this conversation with every elected official I run into. We got to quit talking jobs. We got to start talking empowering businesses and contracts, because one tissue contract can hire 100 people from the community, build a new warehouse. Because I won't go too deep, but we gotta change the conversation, and the issue starts with our legislators too.
And start with Simcoe as a model.
So let me just break this down for you, just so you see how this works as a model for whoever else is going to do this type of thing in addition to what we're trying to do. I was born in Cook County. I did my emergency medicine training in Cook County, went to Northwestern, then got a business and another medical degree from Harvard. And while I was at Harvard, I conceptualized a concept called the Health and Human Service Center, whereas we looked at social determinants of health as a separate track toward focusing on healthcare instead of sick care, which is what happens when you get diseased and then have to be treated. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And for the last 10 years, I actually have been working inside of the state of Illinois to bring that concept to fruition here in the state, because once again, publicly available information, if you look at the data on Black healthcare, and we all talked about this a lot during COVID, which was the last time I was here, we fared worse than everybody else. We were twice as likely to die, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We know life expectancy is worse in the city based on your zip code, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How do we get better? Well, this is what we're talking about. So let me skip to the point here. After 10 years of trying and after multiple efforts to try to derail us, to get us to participate in the big insurance companies' efforts, we actually got the state to apportion $300 million over 5 years for the development of that very concept. The acronym SIMCO stands for, at the end, Managed Preventive Care and Education Organization. So that is out now, and the awards are going to be announced in about a month. But one of the points of that is that the entirety of those awards, the requirement is that they have to go to minority businesses. And of course, Simcoe is the leader of the pack, and we expect to be able to deliver those services and to empower scores of Black-owned businesses along the way. So that is an example of how not only can we take care of our own health through the prism of health, but we can do so economically. And that is what we're talking about. So let's elevate the conversation. God bless everybody who's in this space, because it's so important. You can do more than one thing at a time. But at the end of the day, when I stand up on top of the Hancock building and look down at all of those buildings, the question becomes, at what point in time are we going to say, look around this table. Every single thing that we're looking at is owned by somebody. And none of them's us.
None of them.
Let's start having those conversations. Let's start putting them
I think we always have to deal with language. We've got to deal with language, because minority means less than. I'm not less than anybody. When we talk about people of color, Blacks are excluded from that. We talk black.
Hello.
And
every day.
And you're in that global economic position. And I knew when COVID came, you all did some tactical things. As Dr. Sterling has shared that Simcoe model, but what you've done inside and outside of Hyatt your whole career. And as you work with the urban leagues, as you work with all of the the other organizations, we run out of time every time. But we did Pat Harris when she did None of Us is as good as all of us.
Yeah.
And not since Pat's book 20 years ago, you've come out with this new book. Make sure you say the book, how to get
Diversity Done Right. You can go to Amazon and get it, Barnes and Noble, your local bookstores, my website, Tyrone.Studemeyer, and Diversity Done Right. It's all over the place. I've sold 2,000 copies in China.
But
Wow.
The Diversity Done Right, along with the connection you guys just made, the influence and the decision making for business ownership, for contracts, the conversation that you're having with elected officials. That's where we are fortunate in Illinois to have a Congressman Danny K. Davis, Robin Kelly and Jonathan Jackson. We have federal leadership. We've got state leadership. Senator Maddie Hunter, Camille Lilly, all of the.
I think we lack the knowledge. We don't understand. We don't know what we don't know. We don't understand how government runs.
So this partnership.
It's got to be a partnership. It's got to be a kinship, right?
And it can't be looked upon as just because I know you're gonna get the contract.
And it can't be charity.
Yep.
This ain't charity. This is business.
Yep.
This is how we make money.
Because we do good business, we should be able to get these good contracts to hire good people from our community.
And we have an audience of people who want to connect.
I was like Global Giants. Tell them your information again.
So Tyrone.Studemeyer. And then my Hyatt email, Tyrone.Studemeyer@Hyatt.com. You can reach me there. I'm a giant on LinkedIn. You can reach me there, Facebook. Anyway, I check it all. I have my assistant check it as well. And let me be very clear. For those who think they can't find people, that's not true.
True.
You want something hard enough, you'll go out until you find them and they'll connect in. I tried one time. Well, listen, I'm in a global job. I got 200,000 employees I'm responsible for across 70 countries.
Yep.
Right? And this. I'm not sitting here waiting. But if Doc wants me, he'll find me.
Yep.
Look, could you repeat your handles, please?
Tyrone.Studemeyer.
That's his website, Tyrone.Studemeyer. And we're gonna post it on Instagram because I want Dr. Sterling to give his information. Yes. And then we're gonna have you back.
I'm actually very easy to find. You can find me anywhere. Just Google me. That's all it is. My handle is @SterlingMD. But you can email me. I'm very easy to find. I live the 70. By the way, my bestseller is called "There's 72 Hours in a Day." Using efficiency to better enjoy every part of your life. I've written 7 books, but that's a different conversation. Find me at Sterling at sterlinginitiatives.com.
Well, I'm buying both of these latest books. I wish I had copies now to get them signed, but we're going to keep pumping this up. Oh, thank you. Listen, we're going to have you back, Wynona. You never cease to amaze. I think today might have been, I'm sorry, today might have been my favorite community chatter. And it was just perfect. It was perfect for this Juneteenth holiday we're coming up on. And so we're gonna keep praying for both of you brothers that are doing things to help change the world. Believers, we are praying for you. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but we're never out of content. Don't quit, just do it. Believers, Tamara Fair, I love you.
I love you, Action Jackson.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you. Up next, AC Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson with the Afternoon Drive. We get it done all night long, right here on Inspiration 1390.
When Dr. Sterling said he was in town, I was like, we got to make sure we.
That was powerful.
That was real powerful.
I was like, you guys have the global piece, not just the small piece.
See your Facebook.
From a D&I perspective, China's looking at everybody's modeling.
Let me tell you, I say this all the time.
Everybody's modeling.